Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about minimizing your homeschool. So the last few years, minimalism and decluttering has been a huge topic of conversation, especially among moms, and homeschooling moms are no different. So I really believe that time is your most valuable commodity, and I don't want to waste my time by cleaning up things that I don't even want. So you can take action and create a homeschool space and home that bring you peace. So today we're going to talk just a few, 3 tips about how to actually make that happen. So sometimes when we're really overwhelmed with our stuff, we think we need to do a huge purge all at once and get rid of everything, go through the garage and the basement and the attic and all of our stuff. That is one way to do it, and it's not necessarily a bad way to do it, but that can sometimes be overwhelming and just bring us more of the attitude of all or nothing. Either I'm a minimalist with white walls and 0 toys, or I'm a hoarder. There's no in between. So I personally like a little bit of gray area here. So sometimes it's easier, I think, to start with one shelf or one container at a time. Maybe you want to start with picture books or chapter books or math manipulatives, that sort of thing. Okay, so here's your first tip. 1, be honest with yourself. Are you really going to use that one specific thing that you've saved forever just because you might someday want or need it? Probably not. If the time actually came that you wanted it, could you borrow one from someone else or cheaply replace it? If the answer is yes, then it should go. You're not going to use those extra 10 coloring books or maybe the hole punch that you use once a year. Cut your losses, move on with your life. If it's something pricey, which that's different for every family, so you need to use your own judgment there, then you need to look at, well, how often do I really use this, and could I borrow one or rent one or find one at the library or an office supply store, something like that. Okay, the next one is be honest with others. Sometimes people can be very well-meaning and want to offer us things that they just don't want anymore. So several years ago, I became a victim of this. Some very well-intentioned, kind people in a group that I was affiliated with the word seemed to spread that Michelle would take all of your old stuff. Now, I was happy to take some things, right? Like some kid hand-me-downs and things like that could be helpful. But some of these were very outdated books, things that were not remotely useful that honestly even a donation center would probably just throw away. So sometimes people will give you things because it makes them feel better than donating it to a stranger or throwing it away. But their feelings are not your responsibility. So the only thing that you can control is you, right? So you can tell them, thank you so much for thinking of us, but we don't need anything else right now. And that's very polite. There's nothing rude about that. There's nothing ungrateful about that. You're telling them thank you. You appreciate the thought, but you just don't need anything else right now. And sometimes if it's, someone who can be pushy about that, you might have to be firm and repeat it multiple times. But that's the second one. So first, be honest with yourself. What are you actually using? Second, be honest with others so that you're not just taking other people's things that you feel obligated to accept. Okay. And your third one is going to be ruthless about the space that you want to create. So I have heard this said from a number of minimalist kind of people, and you need to think about the space that you're trying to create and be intentional about it. Okay, so you don't want to keep things out of fear or guilt. Just like you don't have to feel guilty about not accepting items from other people, you don't have to feel guilty about keeping them, right? So if you've already spent money on it You might think, well, I spent X amount of dollars on this thing. I better keep it and make it worth my while. Well, you've already spent that money. You probably can't get it back unless it's still in a return window, or you can resell it, which maybe you could get some money for it, depending what it is. But that money is gone. The opportunity is gone. So what can you do? Look forward, move on, get it out of your life, and then be more intentional about what you bring into your home. Okay. If you want to put something in the garage or the basement or something temporarily, sometimes that can help just to get it out of your mind and then look at it in a few months and it's a little bit easier to totally part with it. If you are spending time cleaning around something, cleaning something, thinking about it, it's taking up your time. I've also heard many say, what takes up your space is taking up your time. You have the power to create the life and the home you want. So don't let clutter hold you back. You can do this. Be ruthless, be honest with yourself, and be honest with others. And you can create a home and a homeschool space that brings you peace.